Think and be fit. All right, welcome. Come on in. You might want to grab a pen and a paper. I'm going to share with you a couple key things, although I'm not going to be long. I will be not be holding back anything because of time. So you may want to grab a pen and a paper. We're going to talk about think and be fit. All right, so I'm going to be checking here, make sure my volume, I got a volume and all that. See here. Okay, think and be fit. Can't tell if I'm live there or not. So I just wanted to just do a quick volume check. Okay, we're good. Looks like, okay. Ben, Carl, welcome. Talking about thinking and being fit. All right, here we go. And these are my 5 fundamentals right here. So a lot of my background's in personal training, bodybuilding, fitness. I've been in with fitness my whole life since I was 14 years old. And it comes down to a couple of key things. One of my mentors said that a lot of times in a major area of life, anything major like fitness, spirituality, money, relationships, that each major area is only going to have about a half a dozen things that's really important to follow through. And so it's my belief that with fitness, there are really only about 5 areas of things that if you follow, they are the most important. And so, and they're right there on the screen. If you want to take a snapshot, feel free to take a snapshot. And okay, just check in. Okay. Okay. Sorry. One of my phones is acting crazy. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. It's working. Sorry. Okay. So we are live. Okay, good. On Facebook. So I just started this new streaming service that can do both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So please say hello and let us know where you're coming at us from, please. I'm coming at you from my home in Tucson, Arizona. Where are you coming at us from? Please share. Create a sense of community because we can help each other like iron sharpens iron, right? So one thing that I really feel is important is that when it comes to fitness is the mindset. And that's really where coaching comes in. Coaching is coaching people to be their healthiest. And with weight loss is my specialty. You see a number on the screen. Text FIT to 520-400-9573. And then we can engage in conversation about having a complimentary phone and or Zoom consultation, so I can get to know you better and see how I can serve you. My program's basically about. I have a 16-week program that I guarantee 30 pounds weight loss if that's your goal within that realm, and then I also have a year program where I guarantee 100 pounds weight loss within a year if that's where you're at with it. Because I know a lot of people have over 100 pounds to lose. So with that in mind, I'll just say one other thing on that last year, 38.75% of the globe were obese. So it's really an issue. So if you know or if you know anyone that could use this information, please share it with them. I'm sharing with you everything that I can think of that can help within the time that we're working with. So number one thing that I do, the first thing that I do when I'm sitting down with people and I'm going to help them, I'm going to coach them, is that we get clear and specific on the goals. So I'm going to start with you right now. So if you could wave a realistic magic wand and you could have your body, your health, your energy, any kind of way you wanted it to be for the next 6 months to a year, what would that be like for you? Think about that. You might want to do a goal. Just write it down. Take action. Please consider grabbing a pen and paper and just taking action and just write down your goals right now. Just go for it, right? Write it all out. Be clear and specific. Now, that's really important. The more detailed, the more clear and specific you can be, the better. I'll use myself as an example, okay? So right now, I'm 5'10", 180 pounds, about 7% body fat. I want to add another 10 pounds of quality muscle and feel healthy and good. That's my goal. So I say, as I'm driving to the studio in the morning or wherever I'm going, could be in the shower or something, and I say to myself or out loud, sometimes I'll say it out loud in the car. People next to me might think I'm a little crazy, but I say, I am happy and grateful now that I am 190 pounds, 7% body fat, feeling strong and healthy like a supple leopard. Does that make sense? So I say it, and that's the key, is saying your goals in the present tense. The title of this video is How to Think and Be Fit. This is how you think and be fit. Say your goals every day, at least maybe even twice a day or more than that, and say them in the present tense like this. And you might want to write this down. I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then say your goal. Like for me, I am happy and grateful now that I am 190 pounds at 7% body fat, feeling like a strong, supple leopard with thick brown hair, 20/20 vision, perfect teeth, and supple skin. See how I created those? I created those details. See how I created those details? And that's what we want to do. That's what I do with the coaching. That's what, if you're not going to get coaching, I want you to consider doing it on your own. That's how you do it. That's how you get ahead physically, is you get clear and specific on your goal. The more clear and specific you can be, the better. You know, one of my mentors was Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s. He was at the time one of the top bodybuilders in the world. He wrote books about his mindset and how he thought and all that. And he would say that he would see himself up on the stage winning his competitions months before it ever happened. He'd see it mentally. I even used to, you could just smell the room. Like the back room of bodybuilding shows has a certain smell between all the oils and lotions and stuff. But you create that smell. Like when I was competing, I just would create that smell of the environment. I'd smell it. I'd see it. I'd see myself up on the stage getting the overall winning victory trophy. But you put that mindset into it. Does that make sense? It's a mindset issue. So that's what we're talking about right now, how to think and be fit. That's how you do it, is you say your goals every day, maybe a couple times a day if you're motivated, and say, put in the present tense, I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then you state your goal. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Now, once you have your goal clear and specific, we're going to follow what I call the 5 fundamentals of fitness. Now, also, too, when I do fitness phone coaching or Zoom coaching, I really do a deep dive into your goals, because when you get emotional, like why it's important, maybe it's for a family member, maybe you're doing it for you having grandkids or kids, or you want to be around longer. You know that at this rate, your body's not going to last, right? So does that make sense? So that's something to think about. Okay, something to consider. All right, so that's the mindset. That's the mindset. Now, once you get all that down, then basically there's 5 fundamentals to fitness to consider following: exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Now, with exercise, there's basically 2 different kinds of exercise I recommend: strength training and cardiovascular training. Okay, 2 things I recommend, those 2 areas, right? And then nutrition wise, so one thing on the exercise. So imagine for a moment that we have a twin engine airplane, and say we have 2 engines on the airplane. One engine's strength training, one engine's cardiovascular training. Now, if we only had one engine working on the airplane, how far are we going to get? Probably not very far, right? It's the foods that it's the balance, having both engines going on the airplane, having both engines going, strength training and cardiovascular training. That's going to really put you in a position to have a strong flight. Does that make sense? Okay. Nutrition, that's really important. So say, for example, we want to build a 2-story house from scratch. Now imagine if we only have half the materials necessary to build the house, how far are we going to get? Not very far, right? So the foods that you and I eat on a daily basis are like the supplies that goes towards building our body. Does that make sense? So and now another thing. Say, for example, say we're trying to build a fire in the fireplace. And imagine on one hand, we have a stack of oak wood. On the other hand, we have a stack of paper. They're not including, kindling, getting the fire started. But if you had to choose between the oak wood or the paper to burn in your fireplace, which one would you pick and why? Well, feel free to comment if you like, if you're watching on replay or live. Most people choose the oak wood. And why the oak wood? Because it's denser, it's going to burn longer, it's going to last longer. So imagine that. Some foods burn more like the oak wood, and some foods burn more like the paper. And so basically, I'm asking you to consider eating a whole food, plant-based, mainly fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and proteins like legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. Now, by doing this, you're doing a lot of good for your body. And I'm going to share with you 3 and other reasons. I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why to consider eating whole food plant-based. Now, this is a artery right here. This is a clear flow artery. Now, when you eat junk food and fast food and meat and dairy, all this kind of stuff, this is what happens. This is what happens over time. Look at that. See how it starts to build up? The arteries get clogged up, right? You know how many people are getting stents in their hearts and bypasses, and you know how crazy it is? Stage 2, more plaque buildup. Look at that. More. It's getting awful. Stage 3, significant reduction in blood flow. This is heart disease. This is when people get high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, low energy, heart attacks, lead to diabetes, all kind of things. And look at that. Build up blockage, heart attack, stroke right now, about ready to happen in this person, unless they can get unclogged up. Look at that. That's what eating milk, meat, and dairy, and oils, and junk food, and all that. This is what we do to our vessels. So this is one reason to go whole food plant-based. I hope that makes sense. Now, another reason is for the environment. You can see right here that everybody says there's a whole debate around the world about fossil fuels or global food distribution. But this is thought for you to consider and do your own research. But that if this is what someone says, that if fossil fuel emissions were eliminated immediately, emissions from the global food system alone would make it impossible to limit warming of the globe to 1.5 Celsius and difficult to realize the 2 Celsius target. So they're trying to get us to reduce to the 2 Celsius target, but it's impossible to get to the 1.5. But the global food distribution is really an environmental issue. It's awful. I encourage you to do your own research. Look it up yourself. Now, this next piece I'm gonna share with you. I encourage you not to look away. It is graphic, and it's about the meat industry. It's about the meat industry, because what happens is we think, oh, you hear people say, oh, well, I get my meat from a small town, small family slaughterhouse situation, right? Well, this is what happens. This is a undercover investigation in a family slaughterhouse from a reputable YouTuber, and I'm just sharing his video footage that's already on YouTube. I'm just going to share with you what happens behind closed doors. This is what happens behind closed doors. If it's not good enough for your stomach, it's not good. If it's not good enough for your eyes, it's not good enough for your stomach. So I encourage you to, if you eat meat, I encourage you to watch, because this is what happens. This is how you get meat products. This is how we get meat products right here. Obviously, the cow's in a lot of distress. You can see that's the stun gun that they use first. They shoot them in the head with the stun gun. It's supposed to knock them out, but and you'll see that it doesn't. See, hope my battery's good. Okay. This won't be much longer. It's about a minute long clip I'm sharing with you. I'm not playing the volume because it doesn't come across very well, but just look how this guy just treats and he's yelling at the cow. He's just yelling, right? And this is, see, if you're an animal lover, you don't want this to happen to animals, right? This is what goes on behind closed doors. I mean, so not only, and I share this with you because the more reasons you can have to eat whole food plant-based, which is also vegan, the more reasons you can have to go whole food plant-based or vegan. And this is one reason right here. Who wants to participate in this? They're cutting the cow's neck and he's still alive. Your cow's gasping. See, cow's gasping. It's so disrespectful, so awful in the way they treat animals. And this is best case scenario. You hear people say, oh, family locally owned slaughterhouse. And this is how it happens. Is it really worth it? It's not. Meat and dairy is just, it clogs up our arteries. It's bad for the environment. And this cow did not want to lose its life. It wanted to live a lot longer than it did. Died a short life and torture. Nobody wants to participate in this. And just look at this cut, just disrespectful. Cow's still alive, even right there to the very end. Oh, just hanging upside down and just total disrespect. Look at that. Just awful, awful. I'm going to get this off the screen. Let's get this back to here. So the more reasons you have, the more reasons we have to eat whole food plant-based, then the more likely you are to stick with it. So if you know that happens and you don't want to participate in that, then you're never going to eat meat and dairy again because you don't want to be a part of that anymore. You don't want your voting dollars to go towards that anymore. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. So we have 3 reasons to go whole food, plant-based / vegan. 1 is for your health, 2 is for the environment, and 3 is for animals. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to leave you with this. Recovery, sleep approximately 7.5 to 9 hours sleep a night. Supplements, there's 2 different categories of supplements: nutritional supplements and enhancement performance supplements. This is really a person-by-person type situation, but this is something that I cover in my coaching. And last but not least is mindset. And that's the mindset, just what we started with, how to think and be fit. Be clear and specific on your goal. Say it every day, a couple times a day in the present tense. And then if you're working with a coach, just imagine every week you and I getting together on the phone, you're receiving texts and messages from me most days. Now imagine how much mindset positivity you're going to have towards fitness because you got that fitness energy. We got that big fitness energy coming at you. Does that make sense? So the more powerful you can get your mindset in the direction of your goal, then better off you're going to be because your mindset is right. You will take action. You will exercise. You will eat healthy. You will get your sleep. You will supplement intelligently. And it's a cycle. Work on that mindset. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. If you're interested in finding out about my weight loss coaching, please message me. The number is right there on the screen. Message me the word FIT, 520-400-9573. You can message me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. I'll respond back to you within 24 hours and we'll get it rolling, right? Any questions, let me know. Appreciate your time and your energy. Remember to think and be fit. Set those goals, have them clear and specific, and say them every day in the present tense. I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then state your goal. All right, and I'll see you on the next lesson. Bye for now.